everybody. Good Wednesday morning, and it happens to be the Wednesday after the primaries. We're glad you're out there and tuned in to Mornings in Meridian, the two best hours of local live talk radio right here in East Mississippi and West Alabama. I'm Roger B. Say hi to Rob Atkinson.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Hi.
And, of course, here he is, the guy who helps us all keep the wheels on the road, Mr. Charles Frazier.
Now, how do I do that?
I don't know. Okay. It's just something I said.
Okay, I got you.
It was just
keeping
an intro.
the wheels on the ground. Okay.
You know, you don't slip off into the ditch,
I
hit the
was
drunk
just
bumps,
curious.
that kind of
Oh,
thing.
right. No
As
drunk
Rob
bumps.
says, he likes drunk bumps.
Right.
Which I am sometimes lazily drive over and hit every once in a while. Just
Keep
kind
it
of.
between the mayonnaise and the mustard.
That's the colors.
Mayo, mustard. I got you. It's all about the condiments.
There you have it.
Where's the ketchup?
Well, today is, it's the follow-up after the primaries. The results are in. If you've seen them on your favorite Queen City newsfeed post, you've seen the results.
Cash was busy last
Cash.
night.
Is Cash awake today? Can we call him?
I doubt it.
Can we call him? Anyway, we've got some comments from the Percy Bland camp and some posts from the Jimmy Copeland camp there.
Yeah, Jimmy Copeland put a
Let's
post
not
out.
forget this. This is a race continuing. And we want to hear around here. Okay, here we go.
Well, we got to get past runoffs first.
Got to get they're going to be, and we're going to let's break that down if you would, and then also kind of set it up as to who's going to be running against who in the.
Well, first of all, I think the biggest number out of this is the total people that voted yesterday. Let's go over that because
they didn't listen to us, did they? There were not people getting off their duffs, were they?
Well, here's the thing about it. Registered voters for the municipal elections.
Yeah.
In Meridian, we have 17,215 registered voters.
Wow.
Ballots cast yesterday.
Say that again. How many registered voters?
17,215.
Okay. I was thinking up near 20. Okay, good.
Now, these numbers I'm about to give you include the absentee votes. They haven't included the mail-in votes yet, which I imagine is probably not going to be a whole heck of a lot of those, but a few probably. But after last night, try 5,351 folks got out and voted.
So 30%.
Yeah, just a little over 31.
Get off your duff!
Well, we had seven ballots cast. That for some reason on the numbers we got back from the city last night, total ballots cast 5,351, and then ballots cast blank 7. So somebody just fed a blank ballot into the machine. So
Well, it gets confusing. You're supposed to mark them. I mean, I
31.08%.
All right, we're going to break this all out for you here in just a moment, but first a phone call. Let's go to the phones here at 601-485-9191. Good morning.
I'm just surprised Charles is not on vacation today.
I need to be. Yeah. I've been told to go on vacation.
Hey,
so.
y'all.
I know.
Come on, y'all.
I know.
Don't even, y'all.
Well, I won't keep you long, but it was just quite a shock. A political prognosticator told me yesterday that Mr. Bland would take this election, and did he ever?
Well, I heard that from somebody as well yesterday, and I'll tell you what my words were. I don't mind sharing that, but I said, quite frankly, well, I didn't think there were that many people. I didn't think there were that many people dissatisfied with Jimmy Smith, but evidently I was wrong.
I've never seen in an election, and Mr. Slay, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I've never seen an incumbent get this big of an indictment on their last 4 years than we saw last night in these results.
I'm going to have to agree with you, Rob.
I've never seen anything like it.
20 point what percent?
7.
Yeah, the total vote number is what I got in front of me. Bland with 2,673 and Jimmy Smith with 822.
And what was the percentage on that? Do you have that?
I don't have the percentages in front of me, but Charles, you may have those. So
it was 67.2 for Percy and 20.7 for Jimmy Smith.
Wow. 20.7.
Wow. Right. And, of course, there was Rita Jack and Ty Bell, which also took some. So, if it was head-to-head, then those numbers may have been even larger. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just kind of interesting. I, of course, not being a voter inside the city, but having Meridian as my hometown, and I'm always interested. So it was kind of a interesting situation. Oh, what about Chad and Dustin?
Got those numbers in front of me as well. Chad and Dustin ended up being Dustin Hill with 261 votes to Chad Acton's 217. So Dustin Hill moves on to the Ward 5 general election. He will be going up against the Democrat. Is it Mr. Rue? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brandon Rue won the Democratic ballot there. He had well over 50%. So it'll be Brandon Rue and Dustin Hill there in Ward 5 coming up in June.
All right, I'll get off of here and get listen to the font of all wisdom and knowledge discuss the recent election. Then,
well,
I thought you were the font of all wisdom.
You are a huge contributor to that font, so don't underestimate that now.
Well, you can mail that check to. No, I was just. Bye.
Well,
it's in the mail, Jimmy.
We do direct deposit now. It's
P.O. Box.
I'm going to directly deposit that in my bank. That's how I directly deposit.
But guys, I don't think I'm wrong in saying that. I've never seen an incumbent mayor, council, supervisor, whatever. That's a big number.
Without a scandal or any other sort of.
It's just.
Event that would cause that.
Yeah.
You know?
Was it the sleeping video or the sleeping picture?
I don't think it's just that.
That didn't help.
It didn't help. It didn't help, but it's more than that. I mean, I think we can all agree it's more than that. And I like Jimmy just fine. I mean, we've had him on the show before, but the record speaks for itself. I'm sorry, it does. So
well, and did we see anything from the campaign? Did he campaign very hard? I didn't see much, but I could be missing it because I'm busy and I'm all over the place, so I don't know. So anyway, it's Mornings in Meridian. We're glad you're out there, and of course we're going to before we take this call, let's make sure that we understand. Okay, so all right, with the victory of Percy Bland, he's going to be going up against Jimmy Copeland, the independent candidate,
correct,
who was not in the primary process. So that's now a new race,
correct.
As I say, the race is on. And then, of course, now in the city council races, let's see who's pitted against who when it comes to Democrat and Republican.
Well, the only council race that is decided after last night was 4. That was going to be decided, and Miss Ramondi Walker got reelected last night. She won that race 448 to 325 unofficially. Now, as far we mentioned Ward 5, that'll be a matchup between Brandon Rue and Dustin Hill in Ward 5. Ward 3 Democrat will have to go to a runoff. Incumbent Joseph Norwood, and then his challenger Travis V. Timms. And Timms actually got more votes than Mr. Norwood did last night, 418 to 376. So those two will have to go to a runoff on the 22nd. As far as, let's see, what else am I missing here? Ward 1. Elliot Brewer, congratulations to him. He won his race in Republican Ward 1, 532 to 286 against Elton Reed. So Elliot Brewer will now move on to the general election against Tyrone Johnson in Ward 1. And, of course, we mentioned Dustin and Brandon Rue. So I think we've got everything kind of set. And, of course, don't forget Ward 2. I believe I'm correct on that. Ward 2 did not have a challenger for either Dwayne Davis or his challenger down the road, Mr. Waller. So those two will meet in the general coming up. And don't forget Beverly Henson. She is going to be the Republican in 3. So she's going to have to wait for this runoff to take place on the 22nd. So I think we've set the table on everybody now, 1 through 5 here. So.
And as we mentioned, the runoff is April 22nd.
And that's the same day as 82's runoff.
It's going to be the runoff for State District 82. And so some of you will have different polling places. You'll have to go to 2 places if you want to be an active voter in both of those races.
Correct. Boy, that's going to be a day.
That's a new term, an active voter.
As opposed to the inactive?
Yeah.
You mean
the non-voters?
You mean them cemetery voters?
They're pretty active. They have it. At least last cycle.
Always active,
yeah, those are subterranean voters.
Yeah.
Mornings in Meridian. Let's take a phone call here. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good. How y'all this morning?
We doing lovely.
Fine, Mr. Chuck.
Chick-fil-A got off the phone quick like that because they brought the breakfast buffet out.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what it was.
the old buffets get you every
Yeah,
time.
That'll do it.
That's why he got off the phone so quick. Well, y'all talking about y'all don't understand an incumbent getting beat. People was having dodged bullets on the way to the poll booth yesterday. You don't get that.
Yeah.
With what all was going on in town, of course they're going to vote for somebody else. But hey, guys, how long has the present chief of police been held that position?
She has held it since, I think, the mayor's been in office. I think there was a small period there when Jimmy got elected. They went through that process,
Right.
and I think she's been in there almost the full term.
We had the Chris Reed, and then they,
Yeah.
and
And
then
then
him, and then I think she was
Do you
interim,
think
and then
is public safety the issue? Because but the reason I say that, and Chuck, you can chime in, but the point is, a lot of streets have been paved under Jimmy Smith's.
Oh, yeah, we can't argue
administration.
that. Yeah, you can't.
I mean, there's a lot of smooth pavement. Now, there's been a lot of non-glorious, non-political pleasing, infrastructure work that has gone on too, with sewer and water, that kind of thing. So, does this vote reflect simply the public safety concerns?
I think it trumps everything.
Yeah, I
public
think so.
safety here lately has trumped everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's my thinking.
yeah,
Well,
I
that,
agree with you there.
When did did Bland hire Reed?
Yes.
yes.
Right. I'm getting everything in chronic.
In round 5.
Yeah, I was about to say how many was it
around
before
3.
that? Yeah.
He didn't last. Did he only last several months or something like
No,
that?
he
didn't last long
departed.
anyway.
He departed when Percy was not reelected.
Yeah. And Roger, like you, I mean, I hadn't seen the first. I don't know. I saw the first ad on Jimmy. I don't know.
It was not
I saw the first.
it was almost like okay.
Few signs around town and that maybe a
He had a-
Facebook thing, and that was about it.
He had a sticker on his door of his vehicle. Saw him driving around town
Yeah.
with that, but no.
Didn't seem to want it. I don't know. Now, who knows what the deal is? But yeah, there wasn't much out there on him. But anyway.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we listen. See what y'all say.
appreciate
All
it.
right. It's mornings in Meridian. It's the day after the primaries. It's time to talk. 601-485-9191.
I do know one thing. I was talking to a gentleman down the hallway yesterday about the precincts, and he mentioned I've gone to one precinct for years and go to that precinct, and of course they're telling me I need to go to a different precinct because they did redraw the precinct lines and they approved that the council back in 2023. I'm wondering too, you look at some of these low numbers, and especially in Ward 5 with the turnout on the Republican side. Ward 1, the Republican turnout, looking a little low there. And I know the demographics of the city, don't get me wrong, but did that have some things to do with it, too? People going to that location be like, well, I'm not going to go all the way over here to vote. But imagine this, though. When we get to this runoff on the 22nd, you have to go to 2 different locations to vote in 82, which the county handles that. Mm-hmm. And then this runoff that's going to happen in Ward 3 or Ward 5? Ward 3. So is it going to be 2 locations for those folks in Ward 3? I'm not sure where 82 sits, but I imagine it sits right there in Ward 3 somewhere. So are folks going to bother to go to a runoff, go vote here and then vote there? I mean, that's asking a lot from the public right there to get out and vote, which we all should. But it's a good question to put on the table here with the 2 locations coming up on the 22nd. So.
All right, to the phones we go. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Mornings in Meridian. You're on with Roger, Rob, and Charles.
Good morning, gentlemen. Elliot Brewer back again on the radio.
Hey, Elliot! Congratulations.
Why is there such a pep in your voice there? Elliot?
Happy.
Well, I was able to win my race, as y'all have already reported, so I'm pretty pumped about that. Got the results last night. We were sitting there at Phil Hardin Ballpark watching my boy play some baseball.
That's awesome.
How about that?
I just wanted to take this time, though, to thank my voters for coming out. Ward 1, y'all showed out last night. It was not a close race. Thank goodness. My heart, I don't know, could have handled a close one. No runoff that I had to worry about. So I'm just thankful for the efforts of my team, and I'm thankful for the voters for coming out and giving me their support. And just to remind everybody, I've got a general election come June 3rd, so I need them to come back out that day too. But I'm going to take a week off, and I'll be pounding the pavement again, gentlemen, on my way to June 3rd.
I'm sorry, Elliot. I think half of your voters are going to be down at the beach. I think. I'm just.
I need to postpone
Floribama.
those vacations just a little bit. I'll actually be headed that way the next week myself. I got kind of nervous when they talked about that general election being in the summer months.
It might be good for candidates to wage a nice absentee ballot campaign there.
There you go.
Well, that is a valid point, sir. Indeed.
But anyway, no, congratulations and
Yeah.
thanks for reporting in and checking in with us this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you, gentlemen. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thanks,
sir.
Elliot.
Thank
Congrats
you.
again.
All right, congratulations to Elliot Brewer for
Yeah, good guy.
coming out on top in his race.
And the thing about it is, when you look at that Ward 1 general election coming up between Elliott and Tyrone, those are two good guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Tyrone, we've had him on the show before, too. I know he was on the council once upon a time. And,
Right.
and you look past Elliott and we just got good folks that ran in these council seats that we got to know over this process. And now we're kind of whittling this down a little bit to now just two candidates in each race. And it's going to get interesting out there on the campaign trail.
Yeah.
So.
Now you go. Now you're gonna start seeing some politicking.
Now you go really see it.
You're gonna see some politicking, some mudslinging. It's gonna get something going on here.
We like to watch. Well, and you bring up a great point, Robin. And even those that weren't victorious yesterday, we've got to take our hats off to them. They
Absolutely.
Excellent point.
They
Yeah.
really,
Excellent point.
to get involved in it and to put your name out there, it's not an easy thing to do.
Absolutely.
So really, good job for those who ran. I'm sorry that it didn't work out in your favor, but there's always the next time, and really.
I will say
appreciate
this,
those
though.
that tried.
Y'all better go out and pick up your dead gum signs
That's
around
right,
town now.
Get those signs up.
Forget about them. It's just So
When they cut the
Leave
grass,
the
I
next
just
round.
run them over.
let the hunters pick them up for target practice. All right,
Bad idea.
Let's go to the phones. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Mornings in Meridian.
Hey guys, are y'all in shock?
It was pretty shocking. Yes,
Pretty convincing.
for myself. Yes.
I was surprised. So on April 22nd in Ward 3, District 82 election will be held at my church that I pastor, New Life Community Church, but the city council election will be at El Bethel Baptist Church.
Wow.
All right. So Pastor, let me ask you this: if you go to church to vote, especially go to two churches to vote, can you skip Sunday?
Ooh.
Apparently, a lot of people have.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. You heard it here first.
That's good.
Yeah, apparently they have. But anyway,
I just want to put that out there. I'm just saying,
Yeah. I mean, it's just.
But I'm going to go to both places, and I don't think it's going to keep people that want to vote.
I hope
voting.
not. I hope not. I hope not.
But apparently, a lot of people didn't vote this time.
Yeah.
Now, Ward 3 had over 1,000 votes.
Correct.
Every other ward had 700 votes.
Yeah.
Good turnout in 3.
Yeah, and I'm so disappointed that people didn't go vote.
Here let's pull it back though. Let's just say, for example, you have what 17,000.
17,215.
And so you have 30%.
31, just over 31.
In a primary. While we're disappointed at the numbers,
that's
not shabby, given the historic turnout.
I do expect less in the runoff. Of course, I think the only runoff is Ward 3.
Correct.
I don't think there are no others. So.
Yeah, that's the only runoff is that, and of course the 82 seat that we mentioned earlier. So.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, it'll just be Ward 3 elections.
Correct. It'll be Travis Timms and Joseph Norwood in the runoff.
I think that the District 82 other precinct in Ward 3 is MCC, so ours will be I think it's the only place where there'll be two different election sites.
Okay, good.
I think that, but
Okay.
who knows? But
Well, Donna Jill will keep us straight on that.
Oh, yeah.
now, speaking of Donna Jill, do we know, has it been certified who Greg Elliott's opponent is going to be?
They will certify that on the 6th or the 6th, 7th, something like that. So it'll be in a few days. So.
Which doesn't give either Joseph or Joseph much time to to campaign.
Correct.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, just want to touch in and
All right.
let you know about the 2 precincts.
That's Dr. Ralph Henson
Okay.
checking in with us, and
You better be at church on Sunday.
It's
Yeah,
good to
that's it.
it's good to hear your voice on this station.
Church
And
is at 9:30 at New Life if y'all want to.
9:30.
9:30, okay, get it out early and beat the rush to the restaurants. I love it.
That's a
Good strategy there, Pastor.
Yeah, that way we get to the pig before everybody else does.
Eat the crowds.
Gotcha.
We'll see you guys.
See ya.
Pastor, I have a plan where we can beat everybody to the pig.
Got to get to that
Why
pig.
don't we have an early service?
We're gonna start a little earlier than everybody else. 9:30.
4:30 in the morning.
Next thing you know, we're going to have everybody going to church. Yeah, 4:30 in the morning.
We're earlier.
This is the real
even the
this is-
sunrise.
This is the before sunrise service.
Dinner on the
It's
ground.
still dark service.
Dinner on the ground is going to be at the Cracker Barrel. Oh, mercy. Oh, it's such a fun day today. We're having more fun than a person has a right to because, hey, none of us were in the race. So, yeah, it's fun for us to spectate and watch and
Yep.
make some comments.
Yep.
And so we'll take some more of that. We've got some audio from the Bland camp. Got a quote from the Copeland camp. So all that'll be when we come back. How's that? Right now, we'll join Fox News. We'll be right back.
Is that where you were going with that?
No.
That's what it sounded
I was
like.
just playing some. Marvin Gaye here
To
because
rhyme with the,
this is the day on which he was born. So I just wanted to.
maybe Percy ought to adopt that as his campaign song.
Mercy.
Oh, Percy, me.
Okay.
All right, whatever.
You go recommend that. Go consult. Okay. There you go. Mornings in Meridian. Glad you're out there. Yes, born on this day back in 1939 was the late singer Marvin Gaye. There you go. Lost him in 1984. So I guess he would have been 86 today had he been living. So it'd been more like mercy.
Mercy.
That's something like that. But anyway,
We did hear from the great Donna Jill Johnson this morning.
Words of wisdom.
Says the Denson Norwood race in 82 will be certified today. Yeah, the election commissioners will certify the results today to verify if Joe Denson or Joe Norwood will be running with Greg Elliott on April 22nd, the same day as the city runoff.
okay.
Yesterday at 5 p.m. was the deadline for the special House election. I'm just reading through a text message here. Don and Jill had nothing to do with city elections or the city's redistricting and their precinct locations. So, yeah, get that straight. Only mailed out their voter registration cards. So when it came to the municipal races yesterday, that was Don and Jill was not involved. Not involved.
I had nothing to do with
I
that.
had nothing to do with that here.
That's it. So, yesterday, 5 p.m. was the deadline for a special House election.
Yep. So, but yeah, they're going to certify that today. So we'll get the stamp on it and move on to the runoff.
That'll be done. All right. There you have it. One listener named Zena says, Jimmy's best MIA in office. Do we expect anything different in his campaign? We're talking about not very strong campaign, but he obviously campaigned stronger last, for the office.
Yeah, he was on this
So
show too.
handily defeated Percy Bland when he was elected. So anyhow, it has that sense of I'll stay in as the incumbent, but I'm not going to be real interested in a second term. So there we go. We have our local Biden.
Well,
Biden
now,
era.
Jimmy said, I think he went through the social media route, which can be effective, and I think that's obviously it's a way to save money because it's basically free. But and he put a few things out there talking about the things that he's done that were extensive, and when you read them took them at face value, then it was an impressive list of things that he had accomplished. But yeah, I think that we talked about earlier, the biggest concern is security, and I think that the lack of officers that we have on the streets, and I think that the leadership in the police department has been questionable for some years. And
He could have made a
really
different
the big
choice. I think a different choice as police chief would have been the solution to that.
Yeah, and I think that should have been made probably a couple of years ago.
I think if he would have made a change there, not saying that would have helped him win yesterday, but it would have certainly garnered him more votes than what he got.
Sure.
That choice right there just.
Anyhow, it was all part of that era, whenever it was like, anybody that was in charge of anything had to be a certain color, certain gender, all the rest. So it was kind of like interesting how that all kind of.
That's true, but and Deborah Nail, may be very good as far as administration goes. And
I think she's a nice person.
She's very nice.
Very nice, yeah.
But I think that she doesn't present as a very strong leader, and that's kind of, and she's very much quiet and soft spoken.
All
and that's
comes
fine.
down to perception, doesn't
But
it?
it is, and that's almost a political appointment.
And guys, I go back to an instance when we talk about public safety. If you remember when they had that big press conference, it is one of the homicides that happened a year or so ago.
Sure, I think the North Hills couple, but
the police chief read a statement, and the mayor did not say anything.
No.
You want your leaders to be strong and stand up and speak and get out in front of an issue and be stronger about it. And it seemed like there was strength there at times.
Well, and what there was a lack of emotion, and there's no outrage, there's no anger by the politicians saying this cannot happen. We need to put a stop to it now. It was kind of it was very low key.
So in a way, we vote for our officials to run things for us, and we also kind of vote for them to also kind of reflect our emotions during crises.
Well, I don't know about reflect ours, but certainly show some and have some anger and some, you
They're
wanna have somebody
vicarious.
who's
Yeah, they're our spokesperson. So it's like, yeah, get up there and tell them.
Well, I mean, but where's the outrage?
Yeah.
We're outraged and we're emotional about it, but yet they're not. And so you're right in a sense. It's a reflection of what the community feels, but they weren't reflecting that. They were just kind of being, which I understand, being calm in a certain situation has its benefits as well. But there also is a time to show outrage and to show that emotion and to say, we cannot stand for this in this community.
I just remember that, and we all watched that here.
Yeah.
And everybody left like with their hands up in there, like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
No, a good point of your point there is, being calm. Nobody wants their pilot up front in the cockpit going, ah!
How do we control this thing?
Does the parachutes work?
Where's the manual? Right.
How do we fly this thing?
Mornings in Meridian. Let's take a phone call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
MAGA morning, true American patriots. MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. Damn it.
MAGA, talking about MAGA.
That's it.
Okay. What's going
I
on?
need some critical information out of you, Roger.
Oh, some critical information.
Absolutely. When is the wings and tails?
Oh, the wings and
That's
tails.
critical.
I will be happy to give you two pieces of very good information.
Okay.
The Wings and Tails is going to be held Tuesday evening, May the 6th.
Oh, May the 6th. Oh, it's not even this month yet. Okay.
Oh, no, yeah. Don't. It's going to be That's the first Tuesday in May. That'll be May the 6th, 5:30 social hour, and you can start the food line about 6:30. And as you well know, there'll be plenty of food there.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, the second,
one of my favorite events.
The second bit of good news is I have tickets on my person that I will happily sell you so you can attend.
That's good. We like that. Hey, I had my spies out last night.
Yeah.
They found you at Western Sizzling with your little group.
Oh, you must have been talking about Debbie and.
That's right.
I don't. It was so good to see her yesterday.
Yeah, she's a great person.
Long and time employee for the city and also the Meridian Airport Authority. Yeah, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and of course she brought her man with her too.
That's right. he's my buddy.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll tell you what. Now, if she can ever more.
Charles,
make some
I'm sorry.
good deviled eggs.
I'm sorry, Charles. I was at Western Sizzling last night.
Whatever.
Wow.
Charles says
She
good.
can evermore make some wonderful deviled eggs. Keith and I call them deviled eggs.
Oh wow! Now I could get on the outside of some of that.
To us, the horse duvers.
Absolutely, boy. No,
horse
we were there. A bunch of kind of pilot/radio buffs, all kind of sitting around making and some good friends from the world of the district attorney's office, that kind of thing. We just sit around holding court, making sure that we can solve problems that we can manage. Yes,
that's right. And y'all hit on something a while ago.
Yes, sir.
The safety of the citizens is the issue here.
Mm-hmm.
It's you write a list of your accomplishments in 4 years of being the mayor of City of Meridian, and yet there's been no abatement whatsoever or no slowdown in the crime and the shooting and the killing. We had 15 murders here last year. That's unbelievable and absolutely ridiculous. And there again, it goes back. And you were talking about, showing calm. There's a lot of difference in showing calm and restraint and being lost as a ball in the high weeds.
You've seen me play golf, too. Wow, your spies are everywhere.
No, the chief of police was lost as a ball in the high weeds. Read something written for her off a sheet of paper, 30-second press conference. I mean, this is what we're paying for? This is the best we got?
Yeah, you remember just like I do that press conference. That was, a year or so ago? I mean, I think we all just kind of watched that and we were like, wow.
Yeah.
This is $80-something thousand a year job, and this is what we got? You can't even get up there and speak ad lib and give the people the facts. You have to read it off a piece of paper. And here's the deal. Here, and I want everybody to hear it here first. Unless they get away from the race and the gender and their little, our group's going to rule and get the best qualified candidate, absolutely nothing in the city of Meridian will change for the better. Absolutely nothing. You just swap. It's like killing one cat for another. You know, it's not going to change anything. Mm. You have got to get somebody knows how to engage these gangs and drug dealers and stuff like that, knows how to network and get contacts with U.S. Marshals and other services to come in here and clean this place up. But if you do status quo, absolutely nothing will change. In fact, it will get worse.
Yeah, I know that Jimmy Smith was campaigning a little bit on the real-time crime center, I guess, where they're going to have more cameras and people watching that. Now, I don't know. That obviously
didn't. The crime happen.
That didn't
You
resonate.
Ever seen a Kodak solve a crime? You ever seen a Kodak solve a crime like that goddamn damn thing they had down here at Christmas time, them light trees flashing? That's going to deter a criminal? How comical is this stuff, man?
Yeah, well, no, I've never
What kind
seen.
of crack rock are they smoking up there?
Now, if we had, Sheriff Solly or Citizen Solly and Sheriff Ward Calhoun on, they could probably tell you where cameras did help them solve crimes. Many of them.
Well, that putting cameras all over the city and this, that, and other. That's not. That's the recording. That's not proactive. Oh, we have a picture of the assault. We have a picture of the drive-by. Well, you got all the prima facie evidence. Why are you not solving the crimes? Why are you not putting these people away?
Well, and that's the issue, is that they can catch them, but then they're released 2 weeks later, a week later, the next day.
There's
so
your
back out on the
problem right there. Law enforcement, to be effective, you've got to have good quality police. You've got to have good quality sheriffs, which we do, and deputies. And you've got to apprehend these criminals. You've got to go before juries that are willing to convict and judges that are willing to put them away, and prosecutors, district attorneys that are not willing to plea bargain. Oh, we got to plea bargain. We don't have a place to put. We'll build more prisons.
Well, I can tell you from my personal relationship with the district attorney's office that they are bent on putting people away.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. That's what we need.
We just need the law enforcement to get them. We need the process to speed up, and we need places for them to be able to send them once they sentence them.
That's exactly right. But I believe if you will canvass the neighborhoods and just John Q. Public, I believe every person you talk to will tell you the safety of the citizens of Meridian and cutting down or cutting out the shooting and the killing over absolutely nothing and drugs and stuff is what they want to see. Flowers and little street names, nobody cares about that. That's totally irrelevant compared to the safety.
I was thinking about Hazmat Avenue somewhere, though. I was thinking about something like that.
With little flowers on it.
Hazenfratz Lane.
I want to see some gun towers and searchlights on that avenue, and I want to see them cooking off.
Okay. So, be careful going down Hazenfratz Lane.
On Hazmat Avenue, we're going to light the 50 up on you.
There you go.
We're going to put the 50 cal on you.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
But here it is.
Yeah, all right.
People are scared to shop. People are scared to get out. People don't get out at night. And it's because of the crime. If you're gonna have positive things happen, you have to have safety first.
All right.
And you've got to have
Got-
leadership, man.
Come on.
We don't have one chief of police. We've got two chief of police, and not a damn thing gets done.
All right.
We're losing officers. I mean, how many we got now? A donuts box full, a dozen donuts, feed most of them, or a couple of dozen donuts?
Some Krispy Kremes. Got to take a break
Yeah.
here.
Dunkin' Donuts. Hello.
Yeah. And there's where we are.
If you can
Let's see some more officers. Let's see some
All right.
active policing and be seen in the community where people can say, hey, man, there's where my tax dollars are going. I feel safe shopping now. I'm going to get out and I'm going to do things in Meridian.
All right.
But until that changes, not a thing positive will change.
All right.
Roger.
Okay, there we go. We'll take a break. We'll be back right. To Mornings in Meridian. Roger along with Rob. And we have Charles. And, of course, we have you out there. Thank you for being out there, Roger and Rob and Charles and you. Good combination. All right, we've got some comments coming in. Here's one from, can I say one from Paul Tarver?
Yeah, I got that one too. Yeah.
Yeah, let me just say, he says, Jimmy Smith did show up at Downtown Optimist Club lunch meeting and unannounced and did some campaigning and passed out door hangers. He did not ask to speak to the group, though, formally. So
Passed out door hangers.
yeah,
I'm not supposed to put the door hangers on the door.
Here's what you do, though.
So do you take it home and put it on your own door?
And I don't know
How
if
does
the
that work?
Optimist Club allows political speeches or whatever, but I guess he was just kind of being there and campaigning. So this is an example of the campaign.
Okay.
So Textra writes into the show here and says, Percy put James Lee as police chief, and he ran off most of the experienced officers at the time. People need to remember Percy is how we ended up with Jimmy as mayor.
Mm-hmm. That was that.
And I'm looking up, going back into the timeline on when James Lee was the police chief. He was fired back in 2014, if you remember. Wow, it's been that long ago. And then they named Assistant Chief Buck Roberts as the interim leader at the time.
Yeah.
And they cited a loss of confidence in Lee's ability to lead. And, of course, he was suspended before that dismissal for nearly a week there before they dismissed him. back in 2014. So, and that was one of the several chiefs we had during the previous Bland administration. So, texter brought that up, and also. Same texter said someone needs to ask what the qualifications are to sit there and watch those real-time monitors as well. And also, I got another message from another listener.
No more than 5-minute naps.
There you go.
Well, I think you have to be able to see as well. That would be a qualification.
All right.
How's your eyesight?
We've been talking about the mayor, police chief, but this texter brings up a good point. Doesn't the city council have to approve Chief Young, which they did? Mm-hmm. They didn't approve Chris Reed to continue as chief after he was appointed by Percy. Because remember, Jimmy Smith did put Chris Reed up as his choice, and it got knocked down. So
yeah,
and
officially did that.
So the council is somewhat to blame. Is that what they're kind of insinuating?
It sounds like it to me. So because
they have that's true.
And it would be interesting to hear from Mr. Reed about how it
actually went down.
Because if I remember, and keep in mind, Chris Reed was doing a great job as the police chief, and he would come on the show and we do updates, and he was very, very free to talk about what was going on, all the rest. But the way, based on the information I have about the interview he had with Mayor Jimmy Smith and how it was put forth to the council, it was not a strong campaign to keep Reed as the chief.
And you heard the way I said officially put him up.
Yeah.
You can read that quotation how you will. So
and I'm hearing that one side of it, but I'm
sure, absolutely,
that's the way it went. Anyhow, it's Mornings in Meridian. We're having fun here. Post primary, it's decided. The race is on. Former mayor. I guess do you call former mayors mayor? Percy Bland will be challenged by independent candidate Jimmy Copeland.
Correct.
That race is now on officially, and then some other council races also. The one that was decided last night, again, was Ramonde Walker, as she came out victorious in the race in Ward 4 against Kim Houston.
Yep, so she'll have no opposition in the general coming up in June, so she is officially on the council for another term. So the other ones we still have to hash out. So.
So I guess that song worked, Ramonde.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That worked.
Right,
she was here in the studio and she sang the song. Little campaign song there.
I know we don't have enough time now, but next hour, Jimmy Copeland did put up a lengthy post on Facebook this morning that we'll read, and also we have some audio from the I guess you would say victory party last night from Percy Bland.
We were going to play some of that, weren't we? Yeah. We got sidetracked there, but I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take a break then for Fox News. Go warm up my coffee. Charles, will you go warm up my coffee, please?
I'm busy.
Okay. We'll take a break and come back. I'll go warm up my own coffee, and you folks don't go far. Stay with us. Tuned in, Roger, along with Rob Atkinson.
Hello.
And we've got Charles Frazier
Over here.
in the house.
Oh.
Yes, glad to have all the team here this morning on this Wednesday. It is the Wednesday, the 2nd of April, the day after the primaries. All right. Municipal elections are underway now. We've got the primaries behind us. Runoffs will be coming up. We'll talk about all those and the lineup, and we've got some audio from the mayoral candidates, or I should say some statements from the mayoral candidates. And that's that. Plus, we're going to take your calls and all the rest here at 601-485-9191. Well, guys, I'll tell you right now, we do need to take a moment just to tell people to make sure that while you're all excited about this election year, make sure you don't neglect your plumbing.
Oh, now that's important.
Politics and plumbing.
You see the similarity?
Right? Some campaigns went down the drain.
Oh!
There
All right. Barber and Sons Plumbing. That's who we're talking about, of course. They've been in business for over 80 years. That's the only name in plumbing that you need to know. 1123 26th Avenue. Their number 601-482-7023. They've been in the business for over 80 years. They've got every type of plumbing part available in stock over there at 1123 26th Avenue. If they don't have it in stock, then they'll get it for you and get it for you quickly. Now, if you're a do-it-yourself, or take a picture of the part or bring the part in, and Gary will give you detailed instructions on how to replace it. And not only that, he will sell you the right part. You don't have to wander around a big box store looking for bin 82, aisle 43, and then,
Bin 82, aisle 43. Oh, yeah, I've been there.
Wrong thing. It's a wait in line. Take it back.
Hey, you in the Hey, you in the vest? Come help me.
Right. Where's the button?
That's not my department.
There is no button to ask for help because the help is always ready at Barber and Sons Plumbing. 601-482-7023 at 1123 26th Avenue. Barber and Sons Plumbing.
Very good. We got some audio and some a statement from the mayoral candidates. Which you want to go first there, Rob?
Let's go with Percy
All right.
Bland first. This was from Cash Matlock last night. He was out at the Drury Inn last night where Percy Bland held his, watch party, and which, of course, turned into a victory party as well. But this was just a brief statement during that event last night.
People came out and voted. People came out and spoke. And we're happy. We're humbled. We know we got some more work to do. But we have a lot of momentum. We have a lot of momentum. We had a lot of momentum we felt coming into this. Our numbers were about in line with what we thought they would be today. We did a little better than what we thought. But we're going to take that message and that momentum on into the general race. And the people that didn't vote for us, give us an opportunity. Hear our message. Look at what we've done in the past and understand that it takes a lot to be in the mayor. It takes a lot to working with the council. It takes a lot to be an ambassador for the city and to lead the city. And I'm the best fit for that. And I think the people spoke to that today. And we want to continue that momentum on into the general race. And so, Cash, thank you for interviewing me. But we had a little watch party here tonight. There were a lot of great races in the city council races. I want to work with any of those guys that are chosen to lead their wards at the end of all this. Want to start fostering some of those relationships. But at the end of the day, Percy Bland wants to be the next mayor of the city of Meridian. And I continue to ask for you guys' support and your vote, even if you did not vote for me today.
There you go.
All right, so there you have the quotes from the watch party.
And you can watch the rest of that interview. That was just a first little portion of that. The rest of it's over at Queen City Newsfeed on Facebook. So,
all right, Queen City Newsfeed. And speaking of Facebook, now the independent challenger, Jimmy Copeland, has made a statement on Facebook.
Mr. Copeland put this out earlier this morning. I'm just going to read straight from his personal page here. It says, imagine Meridian being the fastest growing city in Mississippi, a new mayor and a new city council working together, more police officers with better pay, a lower crime rate, recruiting living wage jobs, annual budgeted, he put budgeted in quotation marks, street paving by ward, a summer job program for our youth, lower city property taxes. These are just a few of my priorities as your next mayor. Meridian needs a fresh start. And there was a graphic underneath that where it says Meridian needs a fresh start. Copeland for mayor, vote June 3rd, and his picture there to the side of that graphic. So he shared that earlier this morning. So I mean, even though he has officially announced his candidacy, I feel like that's kind of now we've launched our campaign for this 2-month stretch coming up. So
because you kind of waiting to see who you're going to be running against.
Yeah, because
right?
now we are in a 2-month window now because the general is on June the 3rd. So now these two candidates, your 2 months are here. Good luck.
Yeah, it's as we said, the race is on. All right, to the phones we go. Let's take a caller here at 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Thank you. Good morning, guys. How are you?
Hey, good morning.
The man of the hour is Dr. Thomas. I was not here, but my mother was very active in the 60s and during the desegregation things that went on here in Meridian, and so she kept me posted. And what I remember is that there were, when we were told we had to desegregate the schools, there were bomb threats, and there were cross burnings. All kinds of ugly things were happening in our city. And Mrs. Rosenbaum was the. Oh, what I want to apologize. Yesterday, the council voted on naming the exit 150. Excuse me, is going to be called Miss Polly Glover Heidelberg Boulevard. Now, we have been going off and on with this, and yesterday I decided that it was in the best interest of everybody if I did not show up at all, because I was so emotionally charged that if they had put some other kind of thing there to say, we need to do this and this, I would have gone off, and it would not have kept our cause at all. So I stayed outside. I was there, but I stayed outside. And so the vote was 5-0 in favor of it.
I see.
Now, what I about time when this was going on and all of these things were happening, Dr. Thomas, when they wanted to vote to name the Carousel House, put it in her name with all of the other things that she'd done, Dr. Thomas was not there for that particular vote. Now, I don't know if he was ill or whatever, but yesterday he really did have a legitimate reason for not being there. And when he came out the door, barely able to walk, and I lost it. I saw this man barely able to walk, and yet he showed up to vote for Miss Polly. And I was calling him because I had flyers that I was sending out. I was going to pass out about Miss Rosenbaum because she also was the person who was very, very brave. Her whole thing was, we're not going to close. They were doing all kinds of things to say we're not going to accept this. And she said, as president of the board, we are not going to close the schools. All children need a quality education so that they can become contributing citizens in our community. This is the right thing to do.
Okay.
That was were the words of the president of the school board.
There you
all
go.
right? And so I lost it, and even now I'm just very emotional. But I want to thank, Dr. Thomas. Thank you so much for showing up.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
All right. She's emotional about Dr. Thomas being there to vote for, making it a full majority of the council voting for the naming of that intersection or that exit.
And that's one thing that's kind of getting lost in this whole primary season, election season coming up is Dr. Thomas's retirement from the city council, and appreciate his many years of service on that council, and he's been very outspoken at some of the meetings, and sometimes he was in the minority in a lot of different votes, but
a lot of times.
but still he was a strong presence there in his ward, which was Ward 1 for many, many years, and either Mr. Brewer or Mr. Johnson is going to have some big shoes to fill right there in Ward 1. So, but do appreciate his service. I know his health has not been the best as of late, but glad he showed up for that yesterday. That was pretty cool.
The fact that he's up and walking around, he shows he's recovering from a medical condition, that's a good thing. And so our prayers and thoughts are with him and his family.
Absolutely.
So go, George! And good call. All right, so there you have it. It's Mornings in Meridian, and we want to hear from you. Our number, 601-485-9191. I guess everything was okay at the polls. Everything went fairly smoothly. I didn't hear of any hiccups with the voting process yesterday. Have you heard anything?
The only thing I heard was just from a couple of individuals that had voted at one precinct for so many years, obviously, having to go to a different polling location in Ward 5. But other than that, I think everything, for the most part, went smoothly. And I think, with the new polling places in different wards, that may have been a challenge for some. But, that's why we keep, I know a lot of folks that listen to this show every day, they probably get tired of us hammering registration card, this, and that. But, we want you folks to be sure you have all the information. We just keep knocking you over the head with it. And, it's important to get out and vote the right place.
With the prevalence of social media and how many people love to complain on social media, there haven't been any on social media. So, I think that it probably was a fairly smooth process for that 31% that decided to get out there and vote. So.
And it looks like we had the final tallies too by a little after 8:30, around 8:30 last night. When it was all kind of once you included the absentee votes in there, it was
a done deal. Was a lot of those, a lot of the races were so decisive, anyway, that we weren't waiting on those last few ballots to come in because it was pretty clear who the winner was going to be.
Right. Yeah. I think the only race in question, obviously, who was going to be in the runoff in Ward 3. And, of course, that was really the only thing to really hash out last night. Because you have to remember, folks, there was only 3 precincts in each ward with the exception of one who had 2. So it's not like we had, not like in Lauderdale County where you're covering a wide array of places, and it takes a while for those boxes to get down to the circuit clerk's office. But in this case, everything being within the city, they can get them back quicker, and it's not as many precincts to count. Everything's done electronically now. And my favorite thing about voting day in Mississippi is what? Your voter ID.
Yes. Voter ID. I love it. And, the thing that you have to remember, you see the numbers, you see, you think of, okay, we had a national election back in November, and you had lots of, thousands and thousands of people participating. When the closer you get to local elections, the more important. I mean, there's a heightened importance about your vote because, it's just a few in some of these races. A few votes would have swayed it a different direction. So people that sit at home and say, "Well, I'm not going to get out because my vote really is going to count anyway."
It matters.
You are sadly mistaken.
Speaking of that, Dr. Thomas mentioned that, I believe, on this show one time or in a conversation. He ran one time and won by the narrowest of margins.
Well, even the runoff in District 82?
By a couple of votes, and he said every vote matters. Every single vote matters.
Every single vote matters. And so we need to remember this, those that are voting in the municipal election and the general election coming up. And the runoffs. Which stands to probably have even less participation.
Yeah.
Your vote will be crucial, so keep that in mind. 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller. How are you? Hello?
Hello?
We have a caller.
Anybody home?
We do not have a caller. I thought we had a caller, but we didn't have a caller.
Hello?
Try again. Let's see. Anything that's out there that really needs to be discussed. I've got some important stuff here if you want to hear it. The hottest paint colors for 2025.
Oh, yeah. I've been waiting for that list to come out. Oh, man.
In the importance of things.
Hot paint colors.
Yes. This is according to Real Simple, the source there.
Okay,
the hottest paint colors for 2025 are earthy greens.
Earthy greens.
What?
All right.
Muddy browns and deep reds.
We got to get that guy out of the closet down there and get him to work.
Soothing blues and grays. No, listen. And creamy whites and salmon pinks.
Salmon pink.
That's kind of covered a lot of the spectrum there. It didn't just kind of go through the rainbow
Muddy
there.
And creamy
like
and
I said,
salmon.
the guy that puts that list together, we got to get him out in the sun or something. He's just sitting down there in that broom closet not doing anything.
No, you know what it is? It's a guy that make a list. He's like, what do I make a list about?
Just make
paint,
up something
maybe?
and put up there.
Color? Oh, okay, I can do that.
And he gets really mad if you start messing with his lunchbox. He really gets mad about that.
He does get mad.
Oh, yeah.
Don't take anything out of the fridge.
Muddy lunchbox.
Hey, yeah, okay. All right. Yes, earthy. I like that. Earthy greens.
Earthy greens.
Yeah, as opposed to
non-earthy,
like spatial green. I don't know, like blue. Earthy greens.
Okay.
Muddy browns, soothing blues, creamy whites, salmon pinks. You know, that shows you that there is a job somewhere for everybody.
Yeah, okay.
Let's take a phone
Wow.
call. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
Doing fine. Can I comment about the mayoral?
You know,
Please. Yes, sir.
you know, we invite you to comment about anything.
Well, I want to reference the national thing with Trump and the Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah.
And the comments about he's just doing what the voters wanted him, supported him to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if Jimmy Smith, even though he lost, was asked, he would probably tell you he had a successful administration because comparably he has done what the people that funded his war chest funded him to do.
And he did what?
Well, the projects that they were interested in that caused them to give him 70% of his war chest funding.
Mm-hmm.
For example, infrastructure, water and sewer on Jimmy Rogers Boulevard being one of them, and I'll leave it at that.
There was a lot. That is good to see, though. By the way, I've was driving by there just the well, it was yesterday, in fact. And by the way, there are still some tires at that place where the guy throws them off there. So
Right.
it's kind of interesting. I looked over the hill. Oh yeah, there's still some tires over there.
Isn't that where we go to dump them? That's what I've been doing.
But it's good. It's good to see the development of that parkway. There's pretty soon you're going to have I guess Tri-State Mac is going to be putting their footprint up there.
Pull over there and see if them tires have any tread left on them.
Yeah. Might be some good ones.
It's got a little cut in the side, but I think you can get a few miles out of her.
Ooh, we got 10, 20.
Hand me that monkey patch.
That monkey patch. There you go. Okay. So you're saying that maybe he did accomplish some things for some constituents,
Absolutely.
some contributors.
Absolutely. No question about it.
And every time I see him, I've always bragged about the fact that he was able to, I think, pave more mileage of road inside the city than anybody I've seen in a long time.
Possibly put funding in for some future subdivisions, different whatevers. Yeah, but I was asked about the re-election, and I said I didn't think that he would get a lot of support because of all the crime, murders, and such in the neighborhoods, that the lack of doing a better job with the safety and care of the community, so to speak, was real bad. And I think that the voters, if questioned, if we had a newspaper that asked questions, would reflect that.
Well, I think gone are the days when you have these heavy news-staffed outlets. It's a new day in the news media world, I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah. You said it there, fella.
Well, then that's all I want to say about that.
All right.
Well, thanks for checking in. We're glad to hear from you.
Yep.
Yes, sir. I enjoyed your report last night.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for making that possible.
Yes, sir.
All right, goodbye.
There you go. There you go. Enjoyed the report last night.
Interesting.
Yeah. Cash gets all the credit. We just put him on the air, and he did his job. Did a fine job, too. And like I said, the returns came back in pretty quick last night. So all was decided before 9 o'clock. So
Cash talks.
And what walks?
I don't know. Non-cash. Credit cards.
Oh, no, never mind. Okay.
Well,
Non-cash.
Candidates walking
A salmon
out.
pink. A salmon pink.
Salmon pink.
Earthy greens.
Earthy greens, creamy whites. So I guess no bright whites this go around there. Soothing.
A soothing
They
blue.
talk about soothing blues. It's those irritating blues that really, you just don't want to paint anything that irritating blue.
The annoying blue? Yeah. Okay.
Annoying.
Wow. Soothing.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think very soothing.
I don't know.
Soothing color. Okay.
Yeah. I knew you.
Move on to the next.
I knew you'd love to hear this that
pink.
breaking story there about. I could tell you about the triggers.
We're good. No.
I can tell you how to avoid certain triggers for eczema.
Wow.
I mean,
I've got
a wealth of information over here that I can share with you.
Charles is like, I think I got something I got to do in the parking lot. I'll be back.
I took a call here. Let's get this call in. Good morning. How you doing, caller?
Yeah, I was trying to, when I was asking questions, what I was referring to was when the mass exodus of experienced law officers left.
Yeah.
And that was under Lee, who was hired
James Lee.
by Bland, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Yep.
I was wondering, trying to put all that together, but the water and sewer out on Jimmy Rogers is real good for those that own land along the side of it. That's excellent. That's real good. But the two congressmen from Florida, Republicans, got elected, but they failed on the judge in Wisconsin.
Correct.
To get the conservative judge elected. And every one of those Wisconsins, they talk about, well, that billionaire put so much money into it, and he put so much. What are they talking about? George Soros?
Exactly.
Yeah. Which billionaire?
That's right.
They act like George Soros didn't have anything to do with that. But he put in a bunch too, and that's going to be bad because they're up for redistricting, so they can kick out some Republican seats and add some Democrat seats going to Washington. So that's not good. And,
Does anyone know if any Soros money is coming into our mayoral race?
I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to be. I hope people pay attention to Mr. Copeland and what he's done, and what he's promised to do, and his military background. I hope they give him a good look, and looking forward to see what the tariffs are going to be this evening. Did y'all see where Canada charges us a 223% tariff on milk coming from America going to Canada? 223%, and they get upset when Trump wants to care about it. That's all we want to do.
Well, we're such a rich country, and we are so blessed, and we've got so much money. You know, that's just a drop in the milk.
Our milk's better.
That's just a drop in the milk bucket, really.
I ain't drinking
But
no
that's
Canadian
just on
milk.
one thing.
Yeah.
That's just on one thing. It's how
Sure.
bad we've been letting countries doing us year after year after year. So
I guess
but anyway,
logically,
all three-
if we charge each other the same tariff on everything, why even have tariffs?
Well, that's the point.
There you go. Yeah.
I thought about that earlier, Roger. Just do away with people that's treating us right. Let's just do away with
Sure,
tariffs.
no tariffs on
altogether.
us, no
We
tariffs
don't
on
need
them. Yeah.
But it has brought back the threats of tariffs have brought three major auto plants are coming here instead of going to other countries. So that's what it does. And people need to look at that and the jobs it'll create. But anyway, all right, y'all. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we don't let Chuck bust through the news break every time, but we did this time.
Because today is Retribution Day.
Retribution.
What is it? Is it Retribution Day, Celebration Day, Liberation Day? What is it called?
Liberation, Retribution.
It's Liberation Day. Tariffs. We're going to sign. Big announcement. Rose Garden today, 3 o'clock. Huge. Going to be big. It's going to be glorious.
I think it's Libation Day.
Oh,
that's what I think it is. Yeah. All right, let's take a phone. Well, no. We're going to have to take a break. We do have to get this break in here. So we'll come back. We'll take more calls. I'm Roger. He's Rob. Stay with us. All right? Absolutely.
Clock yet? Ooh, good.
Boy, I tell you what, I'm going to brush my teeth and maybe I can watch one more episode of Frasier. Oh, we're glad you're out there, folks. Roger, Rob, Charles. It's a good group here this morning, and we've got somebody on the phone lines here at 601-485-9191. Let's take that call, guys. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning, and thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely.
I have a question or a point to make that I hadn't heard anybody make.
Sure.
As a Republican, you could only vote in the primary for Republican. What if you only had a Democrat running? Would that mean the Democrats, like say if Mr. Copeland wasn't running, you couldn't vote on the Democrat side to pick mayor, so that would mean only the Democrats get to pick our mayor? Would Percy automatically be our mayor if there was no one else running?
Now, you've evidently thought this question out longer than I've been listening to it. So let's back up here. Let's start with the first part of your question. You said in the primary, the primary is designed where you choose which party you're going to vote for. Yes.
Exactly, but there was no Republican candidate.
Correct.
So you
Correct.
didn't get to vote for mayor because there was no Republican candidate. All right, if you took Mr. Copeland
Now you could
out
have
of the picture-
couldn't you as a Republican go in and vote Democrat if you wanted to? So you could have
Cross the ticket.
You could do that, but say you have somebody you really wanted to support in your ward
Yeah.
for Republican.
Yeah.
You know, you would be torn which way you're going.
Yeah, you'd have to
But
choose
what
then which way you were going to go.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what I'm saying, all right, say now we've done this.
Yeah.
And what if Mr. Copeland wasn't in the race? Would that mean the Democrats automatically had elected our new mayor?
Oh yeah, if there was not a challenger, yeah, that would.
So he would be it. And
It's like the Ward. It's like the Ward 4 race. There was no Republican challenger in that one, so that race has been decided. Ramondi Walker will be the Ward 4 councilwoman.
But I guess my point is, it seems a little unfair because if there's no one in the other primary, it seems like then you ought to get to choose because it's like you have no option for a mayor. It's like the other side gets to pick the mayor for you.
Yeah.
Well, now that's
exactly right.
incumbent upon the party to make sure they put forth a candidate.
right.
Now, here's the thing: you do have a candidate, and evidently, and I'll just be totally honest with you. I think that the Republican Party realizes there's an independent candidate and realize that maybe, a Republican candidate running in this general election would pull away votes from the possibility of the independent winning.
I understand it. But I'm just saying, I was just thinking about the fact, what if we didn't have Mr. Copeland,
Yeah, well, we can what if all day, but I guarantee you, had there not been...
you think somebody else would have run it?
If there not been him in the race, there would have probably been a Republican candidate.
Okay.
Now, the talk is around town is that there's no way a Republican's going to win a mayor anytime before the Lord returns. But anyhow, that's kind of the talk there. But we do have a race that's not, and you as a Republican can go to the poll and vote for whoever you want to in June.
In the final, yeah. I understand that.
So
I just thought it was
make
kind
no
of sad I
mistake.
never-
Make no mistake. No matter how you voted in the primaries, you can vote for whoever you want to when you go to the polls on June 3rd.
Okay. Well, thank you. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
You too.
In other words, what
That's a
she's
good point.
saying is she wants, make sure we have options.
Sure, and I understand. I mean, you want to vote for your Republican in your ward, but because there's no mayor or candidate within your party, then maybe special consideration should be to vote in the Democratic.
But the counter argument to that would be those who would say, well, look at the county elections. You had so many run unopposed, Republican, for example. And so the Republicans are choosing our sheriff or whatever. It's.
But so then the Democrats who are voting on that ticket, if there's no race in that, then let them vote in that primary. I don't know. We got the rules the way they are. But
the real answer is to it. We have a political process. Make sure there are candidates in the race. And as we said, win or lose, our hats are off to those who put their names on the ballot.
I rarely wear hats. So mine's been off for a while.
It has been. Yeah. So
Did hear from the Board of Supervisors this morning, J.J. Anders.
I saw Kyle this weekend, and we talked about how he's glad that JJ's willing to speak for the board.
Tell him to call me sometime. JJ said, FYI, the previous board with a match from the state paid for the infrastructure on Jimmy Rogers Parkway. The county used ARPA money, and Billy Adam and Jeff Tate helped get the state to match. Talking about the infrastructure of Jimmy Rogers, so that's
all right. That's
like the sewage that they have there that they don't have in the annex yet.
Yeah.
Just to bring that up.
So, the previous board had a match from the state and paid for. There you go.
Okay. So they've got sewage. They don't have it in the annex part.
Just saying.
I'm just suggesting.
That's
maybe.
I'm just the middleman here.
Now, those of you that have been annexed by the city, don't you worry. You know, we're gonna do something for y'all. We're gonna do something real nice for you.
We're gonna have
Jelly of the Month Club.
We're gonna have a nice little benefit car wash with some spaghetti plates or
If
something.
you got a dirty car.
About 2:35 this afternoon, if you're up there on say the Zalazia Drive, just look out the window. You're gonna see a police car drive by. It'll be a city police car.
One time.
Don't you worry.
Take a picture of it.
We're gonna do something real good for you.
Is that a real police car? Does that somebody buy one? Is that real?
That's a rent-a-car. That's a rent-a-car. Oh man, that's a that's a surplus black and white. Somebody bought it.
Looks like one. It could be. I'm not
What's
sure.
this? Security? They can't even spell security. Let's take a phone call. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. We're going to be short this morning. Listen.
Come on in here.
Flew back yesterday from Alabama to get over here and go to the polls, man. And it's like, for real? Yeah, I didn't read my balance fully, man. I thought that this was going to be election.
Yeah.
Only to get back and find out that half the people that I was looking at wasn't even on the balance. So
yeah, we got June. Hey, don't go to Alabama on June 3rd. Nope.
Right. Yeah. It's like okay.
Yeah.
But listen, what is the difference? Whoever Republican is, what is their different talk than the Democrat, except for economic development, this or that is. You know, the talk is all the same, but I guess it comes down to who's going to walk the walk. Because everyone say the same thing. I don't care if it's Republican or Democrat about this county and this city. Economic development, they all talk the same.
Mm-hmm.
Am I pretty close to that? Or you know anyone talking anything different?
Well, they know the issues. Both sides know the issues, and that's what's economic development always rings loud in voters' ears. And it's interesting, though. It's very interesting, though, that while the mayor may not be heavily responsible for the great economic news that we've heard about the Compass Industries coming here, that did not affect the turnout of the voting.
No.
Even though you know politicians try to attach themselves to these successes, and Jimmy did, but that didn't work.
Well, I mean, with him, it's like he was a relic to the community. That's really why Mr. Smith got the votes that he did. That was it. It wasn't nothing about what he could or was going to do. I'm telling you, that's because he was known and he was local. And then just like Mr. Copeland. Okay, he's really talking the same thing, but the consideration is because we see some things that he have performed, we believe that he's going to push through what he say. That's the really only difference. He's talking this. Him and Push, they talking the same talk.
Well, they
really is.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, now the race is really on, and we're going to see how that goes for the mayoral position.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Sir,
all right. Well, y'all have a good one, and let's celebrate Liberation Day. Okay.
Liberation Day.
We dumb it.
All right. There you go. Good call. Thank you, sir. Man on the street. Checking in. Good to hear. Our number here is 601-485-9191. Jeffrey Wilson Insurance, State Farm. He's a good neighbor. And he's proof to that because you go down there and you save that average of $889 on your combined auto and home insurance. And they've got a great package for you, and they've got some good help and some good advisors there. So Jeffrey would be the first to tell you he can't do it by himself. He's got a good staff there.
That's right. He sure does down there on the farm. State Farm Insurance, Jeffrey Wilson. And all you need to do is go see him. His office conveniently located at 2401 Highway 39 North. Of course, you can give him a call as well, 601-483-8253. And he is ready to help you save money right here in Meridian today. And as you said it, when you combine your home and auto insurance, you can save an average of $889, maybe more. Can't beat that. And it's very important that you know your insurance agent. You sit down with them once a year. You kind of evaluate all your insurance needs. You drop a little, you add a little, whatever you need. Jeffrey Wilson is going to guide you through that process.
Right.
And it ain't easy, so let me tell you, he's the guy to do it. Give him a call today, 601-483-8253, or go see him, 2401 Highway 39 North. Like a good neighbor. Yes, Jeffrey Wilson is there.
Good guy. Take a phone call here. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Hey, good morning. Lefty here, y'all.
Lefty. Oh, Lefty, what's
Got up a little bit late this morning, missed the news, but who won, I guess,
You did get up late.
You did get up late.
Who won what?
Who
won the Super Bowl?
That is late.
Council 3.
Council Ward 3 is going to a runoff.
Okay.
Between
Timms and Norwood.
Timms and Norwood.
Well, I had an interesting experience at the polls yesterday. I was just voted, walking to my car, and somebody pulls up with an Alabama tagged car. And the lady got out and I said, ma'am, I'm just curious, how do you vote locally and drive a Alabama tagged car? Oh, well, I used to live in Alabama. I said, well, hell, lady, I used to live a lot of different places, but you live here now, don't you?
Did you really say hell, lady?
You know, Roger, I think I did. I don't know. I just can't remember, but
I was just wondering.
To skirt around the law.
Yeah.
You know, and I said, well, you know, all that money you send to Alabama, it goes to help Alabama. Nothing goes to Lauderdale County when you do that.
Boy, you're watching. You are alert. You are on top of it.
It's been one of my pet peeves for 20 plus years. I even addressed the city council back in '95 about it, but you said. But anyway, but I digress. I said, let me ask you this, ma'am. I said, what driver's license do you have? She said, I have a Mississippi. I said, well, you're breaking the law right there. Well, arrest me then. I said, ma'am, if I was auxiliary policeman, I sure would.
Wait a minute. You really had that conversation yesterday?
I really did.
Yeah, and not any point at not any point she tell you that was none of your business?
No, but she said, don't ever approach me again. I said, ma'am, I haven't done anything. I'm standing right here by my truck asking you a question. I said, is that against the law?
Oh, well, never mind. There's no police. She yelling for police?
That's how easy it is to do. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
You can drive an Alabama tagged car and vote locally, and nothing is going to become of it. And it's just well, it's just don't y'all find that odd that you have an out-of-state tag but you can vote locally?
Well, let's see. Do I find it odd? It is odd. Now let's start with that. Is it possible? I would say I guess it's possible because
obviously it's possible. It happened yesterday.
You could have. I used to live in Alabama, so maybe she hasn't gotten the tag changed over yet, or maybe
she didn't volunteer that information.
Yeah, well, well, here's what here's what she was doing when you approached her. She started thinking stranger danger is what she started thinking.
No, I was standing right by my truck. I never moved from. I was opening my door. I asked her when she was getting out of her car.
Well, I commend you for getting involved, sir.
Yeah. Well, it's just, I thought it's almost laughable how easy it is to dodge, you know. You go to Butler, Alabama. Alabama, you don't see a bunch of Mississippi tags in Butler, Alabama. I'll tell you that. I told her, I said, well, lady, let's get real before we left. I said, you got that tag because it's cheaper. We all know what's going on.
Well, I guess if you have...
It's just one of my pet peeves that I seem to be the only one that it bothers.
Yeah, well...
and I don't understand that because that's revenue that this county and this state does not get. And my taxes just went up. Did yours?
Yes, they did, actually.
There you go.
We're talking about property taxes there, yes. Well, sir, good call. Now, what we invite, if you're that lady and you're listening and you're the lady that he approached, we want to call us and let us hear your side. We want to hear what's going on there. That's good. I appreciate it. Yeah. Good job, Lefty.
I'm listening, y'all. I wanted to get that in before the big shoe was over.
All right. Well, appreciate that. We got to take a quick break. Thanks for the call. All right. Mornings in Meridian. We're going to take a weather break, and then we'll be right back. All right, we're coming back in here to wrap up the show. We've got time for one call, and we're going to take it right now. I'm Roger. Rob is here. Charles is here.
Yep.
Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Good morning. Just in response to the last caller, as a radical capitalist here,
yes,
maybe Mississippi should examine the cost of their tags and perhaps get become better competition for the Alabama tags.
Okay. Argument. There you go. Good job. Thanks.
And congratulations to all the Karens out there, whatever sex and age they are.
Oh. Whoa.
Shots fired.
Smack.
All right.
Oh, my. Okay. Boy, it's getting rough here. It's time to remind folks, though. I enjoyed seeing Jerry Purvis yesterday as I was eating lunch at a local establishment. And he, just a reminder, once again, he's a class act. His wife is a class act, and they run a classy business there with Purvis Business Machines.
That's right. Purvis Business Machines. You know, they have the least return color copiers and black and white. You save up to 85% on those. We talk about it all the time, but it's such a great deal. Go take advantage of it. And, of course, those color and black and white copiers, they do it all. They fax, they copy, they store information, they'll email, everything that you need. And what's great about Purvis, not only will they bring it to your business or your home, they will also connect it to all your devices. They're great at networking, too. They'll set up
You mean my devices can communicate with the machines?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
Is that why I can sit in my easy chair and print stuff?
That's right. Then you got to go get it from the printer.
Nah, Debbie does that.
What? Okay. Anyway. Well, they don't sell that from Purvis Business Machines. But what they do sell are great products and service. Service is the key to it all. Service, not excuses, since 1979. Now, all you got to do is go to their wonderful showroom at 4505 Highway 39 North. Give them a call, 601-693-COPY, or go to their website, gopurvis.com.
Oh, I love it. I tell you what. Well, we're going to have to leave a caller hanging here, Rob, because we are out of time.
Yep.
Anything we need to add before we leave here today?
I think we covered it.
All right. Tomorrow, join us for more of Mornings in Meridian. We can continue the argument about the tags. We'll do that and more. In the meantime, God bless everybody, and please buy local. Meaning